There we go. And welcome, everybody. We are live today with a very, very special guest here on the Vortex Energy Podcast. And I want to introduce you all to Callie Kares. I've known Callie for, God, it's got to be about 10 years. And we've met in San Diego at a mastermind, and it's been great. I've lost touch for a while, and I just kept getting this niggling feeling, and she would just poke me once in a while on Facebook, and I go, oh, I got to talk to Callie, I got to talk to Callie. And we finally reconnected, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to Callie to talk about the sacred geometry of whales and dolphins. And she's got some amazing energy and things to share with you about that. So welcome, Callie.
Aloha, everyone from Hawaii.
So which island are you on in Hawaii? Let's start with that.
Today I'm on the Big Island, but I do travel to the other islands and Oahu and Maui and Kauai, and have lived on the other islands as well, but originally from Canada.
Nice, nice. And tell us a little bit about why you're working with dolphins and whales now. How did that come about?
Well, I felt called to Hawaii from the first time I was a preteen when I came here with my mom, and I just said, why are we leaving? She was like, well, because we're Canadian. And I said, but I want to live here. Uncle lives here. And they're like, well, you need your own business to be here. And but I literally felt home for the very first time in my life when I stepped on the powerful energy vortex of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oahu was where I first had my toes touched Hawaii. It didn't feel like home, but I knew it was. I knew Hawaii was, but it wasn't Oahu. And then 14 years ago, I found the Big Island. And when I found the Big Island, it had from the first day that I arrived to the next day to the next day, just kept having magic happening over and over and over again, and just exponentially exploding, and just giving me confirmation that this is the place for me to be. And going back to your question, was when after being in Hawaii as a preteen, going back to British Columbia, I actually had the orca whales coming next to our boat, so close that I get sprayed by the blowhole. And I thought that was really normal because it happened all the time.
Yeah.
But then I found out that actually it wasn't. And then when I came here to Hawaii, then I had all of these experiences with the dolphins and whales here as well, and in other places in the world. And it's been just heart blowing open, chakras being aligned, and intuitiveness going off the charts. And it's just been one miracle after another. So it's been absolutely amazing. And that's why I'm sharing it all now with everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you believe that they've chosen you, or you've chosen them, not even subconsciously?
Oh, that's a great question. So I believe because I got into energy work and Reiki and all of these other things, and said yes to being a servant to the awakening of this world, I believe because I said yes, that I put out that frequency, and then was tuned in, and then they've tuned into that, and then we tune each other. So I believe that it really was from my saying yes at the very beginning. It wasn't them coming to me. Yeah.
And has your experience been more with whales or with dolphins, or both?
Ooh, so I've been upgraded from dolphins to whales, basically.
Because you don't hear a lot of people talking about that. I mean, dolphins have been such a huge part and have such amazing intelligence. We hear a lot of talk about the emotional intelligence of dolphins and their interstellar connections, but I don't hear a lot of talk about whales. So I'm really fascinated to dive a little deeper into this.
Okay, so the whales are like exponentially higher than the dolphins, even though like they are together, and like just on a physical level and like on a practical level, literally when the whales come to Hawaii, because there's whales here all the time, but the humpback whales come here for 4 months a year, kind of like from October, November until like Aprilish, like, so it depends, like, because they come in flocks, like, or like, well, they're pods, so different pods come through. So the dolphins actually go out and escort the whales in. So they leave for like 2 days and swim out and then escort them in. And it's a really big deal and everybody's kind of aware. And when I say everybody, it's like everybody in the water is aware that the dolphins aren't, that they've gone and that the whales have arrived or are going to be arriving. So, yeah. It's kind of mermaid stuff. That's mermaids know.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about the different kinds of whales that you've interacted with.
Okay. So on the mainland, I've been with the humpbacks and with the orcas, and there has been talk. I believe that it was a gray whale. It could have been a blue whale because I wasn't sure which one that was one time. And so so on the mainland, and then here in Hawaii, it's been the pilot whales, which those were the ones that really initiated me here initially, the first day that I was in the water on the Big Eye. And then afterwards, then it was the humpbacks, but I was worked on with the dolphin energy to prepare me for the humpback, because the humpback is really, like, they are magical beyond belief.
Wow. Yeah. So you talked about an initiation. Would you be willing to share what you feel your initiation was by the whales?
Absolutely. So the first initiation was by the dolphins, and I was swimming in the water, and a lone bottlenose just went by and all of a sudden pinged me, which I didn't even know what this meant, because I had never studied.
What does that mean?
So the word, they use the word pinged, and what it is they throw their sonar into you. And so it went by, and all of a sudden I felt my heart just go boom, like it was that hard, like how I'm hitting myself right now, boom. And my heart just opened up, and then all of my chakras just like blew open. And then I started swimming faster than I've ever swum before in my life. And like, seriously, and I swam for miles, and the boat that I was on with my friends in it had to come pick me up, and they're like, "How did you do this?" And I'm like, "Well, there was this dolphin," and he's looking at me and he's like, "Okay, Susan, lady." And he's like, I can hold my breath for 7.5 minutes and free dive to 300 feet. And I've filmed everything, and I've never heard of this before. And I'm like, well, I don't know. This is just what happened. And then the next day I'm in the parking lot, and the lady goes by, and she has this t-shirt that says, on her t-shirt, she says, dolphin experiences. And I'm like, okay, she's going to know something about it. So I asked her, and I'm like, so do you know anything about magic happening? And she goes, why don't you ask my assistant what just happened to her? And the young woman said the exact same thing that I said. She said that she got pinged in the heart, all her chakras opened up, and she swam faster, and she felt more alive than ever before. So that was with the dolphins. And then with the whales, it's like when their music goes through you, their sound or their song, which every whale has a different song, and they say that they coordinate with each other. And I mean, when you're underwater and you hear them, that's a symphony that is going on. I mean, it literally, people cry out of joy because it's just so powerful, and it goes through every cell of your body. And what it also does is it unblocks any energy blocks. And so people travel from all around the world and I'm not claiming this, I'm telling you what everybody else is saying, because it hasn't been for me, that I haven't been doing this for a pain issue. However, it has helped me emotionally and work through and be with more self-worth and more get to the higher levels of vibration. Absolutely. Like, and it, you know, I teach the scale of vibration. So that is absolutely true for me, and I can attest to that. But other people talk about coming and swimming in the waters where, I mean, you don't have to be with them. They can be just hear them in the distance, and that their arthritis goes away, their blood pressure normalizes. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and
Wow,
on.
yeah, I hadn't heard those physical healing things going on, because I've got arthritis in my knees and I need supposedly 2 knee replacements at the moment. So I'm
Woman,
listening very intently here. I'm listening very
woman, you
intently.
need to come over. It's been too long since we've seen each other, sister.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. And so you actually do healing and bring people along on an initiation to the whale. What does that process look like?
Yes. So I've been doing water blessings from like the Dr. Emoto water blessings for
Yeah.
about 8 years now, and if not longer. And 4 years ago, I woke up on the 11th of the month, and that's every 11th of the month. And by the way, it happens around the whole world, and actually starts in Australia and like on your time zone, the first time zone of the earth, and goes around like a wave around the whole world. So when I'm in Hawaii, that's actually the last time zone, because I'm a day behind you right now. And so it's like a wave of blessings for our waters and all the creatures in the waters. So so I woke up on the 11th, and I got an intuitive hit, and the whales said to me, literally, bring your bowl, your singing bowl, and give an initiation to everybody at the water blessing today. And I'm like, okay. I know, I didn't know what that was going to be. And so I did, and I was guided, and I say yes. I mean, literally, this is my mission. And not only I mean, we are rebirthing the new earth. And that was what I've been told, is that this initiation will bring you to, and there's my bowl right there. That's the singing bowl that has thousands.
Are you able to bring that over? Are you able to bring that over to?
Absolutely.
Is it?
Yeah. So here's the singing bowl, and I can, I can hit it once right now. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So and I do play it, and the initiation, everybody has been. So what happens is during the initiation, which I'm going to be doing at my retreat, which we'll talk more about later, but during the initiation, basically, either manta rays or dolphins or whales of certain different types basically come in, and then whoever's being initiated then gets to work with that medicine. So it's a gift to them to be able to work with that medicine to help them elevate and bring their vibration to the next level. So, and then, does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. But where does the sacred geometry bit come in? Because I know that's very directly linked to your experience with the dolphins and the whales. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes. So first of all, the dolphins, when they swim, they will go into figure 8, the infinity sign, which is the most.
They're swimming vertically or like up and down in the water, or sideways, like around?
In all ways. So they will spin and do it. They will go this way. So Hawaii has the spinner dolphins. They also have the spotted, and the bottlenose. I mean, there's many varieties of dolphins here, but there are certain ones that are just like, there's certain people here on the earth that are dedicated to healing. There's certain dolphins that are dedicated to share that energy too. And so I've had many experiences with many different ones where they just show up out of nowhere. And I'll be swimming because I call myself literally a mermaid, because I swim, like I'll swim for a mile, like across the bay, and I just am mesmerized being with all of the incredible creatures in the water. And so the infinity sign is a very powerful healing. So if you are to get hit, you know, when they say, and we usually hold it, like, which is a really good healing way, actually using the infinity sign helps the energy move again. And that's what releases pain, because pain is blocked energy. So is emotional pain. So you can do it over your heart as well. So there's that type of energy. And then there's their blowing of the bubbles. And then when they blow bubbles, I have seen walls of bubbles being blown, and inside of the wall of bubbles will be sacred geometry. It's mind-blowing.
That's what I want to dive deep into, because I've never heard anyone express that. Like, I've seen you know, pictures or drawings or paintings of people describing this in some fantasy type of thing, but I've never heard anyone who actually experienced with their own eyes that type of thing. So could you share a little bit more detail of what that was like?
Absolutely. And what I'd love to share too is that all of these stories that I have to tell, I always have witnesses, which is amazing, because then I have all these testimonials of what happened. And literally, like, over the years, I've been swimming out there, and I'll have an intuitive hit. I will literally have an intuitive hit of, like, be in this bay at 11 a.m. And then I'll go out and I'll bring a friend, you know, or a client or whatever. And all of a sudden they just show up. And so it's illegal to chase them. I don't chase them. I don't get on a boat and, like, you know, track them down and jump in the water, which is illegal. I'm like literally swimming across, and all of a sudden they just show up. And I've had people come across the bay, like in boats, and come up to me and go, like, we just saw that the whale was like a mile out, and then went just beeline to you, and then they were all swimming around you, and, like, we saw them, like weren't you afraid? And I'm like, I wasn't afraid, not at all. I'm like, totally, they're like my friends, my family.
Nice.
So what's happened is, not only have they sounded me, and whether it's in a distance or they, you know, they swim right underneath me or come and swim up beside me. Like, I mean, I've had a baby, like I'm like swimming along, and all of a sudden I look over and there's a baby humpback looking in my eye to eye, and, like, I could put my arm out and touch it. Now I didn't, because, you know, total respect.
It is a whale. It is still a whale.
Yeah. So the sound is incredible, but what they've done is, the whales also they'll blow bubbles, which I've never heard of. I don't do a lot of research. I've been really blessed to just have these experiences so that I can, like, tell and share these experiences, but they will blow bubbles. And I mean, last time that this happened was just this year. I was out with like 5 friends, and we actually did an intention circle. We were holding each other's hands and did an intention circle, because I also, like, I bless the water on the 11th of the month, as I was saying, but I do it every time that I get in, and I literally just say, I want to bring my highest vibration and our group's highest vibration to the waters and to all the living beings, and may we be blessed the same. May the Mama Ocean cleanse us of anything, and may we be one with all the incredible life that is here. So we just finished saying that prayer, and we're like just floating in the water, maybe 30 feet of the water. All of a sudden, 4 humpback whales are underneath us blowing bubbles, and we're just like, like, it was like.
So are you wearing like goggles, or you're wearing a full face mask, or what how are you seeing all this?
A mask and snorkel. So sometimes not, like, sometimes like just the little eye goggles, right? And sometimes I'm just swimming out there and not. But now most of the time I'm always with a mask and snorkel, because I know that there's magic's going to happen. I don't want to miss magic. Like, it's like, right?
That's amazing.
So Yeah, so it's magical, and the whales also do like a lot of energy movement, I'm gonna say, and
Hmm.
and they will. I mean, it's just amazing. They come to Hawaii. The humpback whales come to the Hawaii to birth their babies, to breed again, and the whole time that they're here, they don't eat. So if they're here from 4 to 6 months, they could lose a third of their weight. And
Really?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So they have to go back to Alaska or back to Mexico to eat the krill and all of these things. And they're saying that there may be a change in that. I've been really blessed because I actually just started a nonprofit, which I haven't even told you about, to save the whales as well. And I want to, and we're actually in the process of making an app to track the speeding boats that are supposed to be slowing down, because Europe has
Ah,
already brought that law in. And so I want to bring that law in here, because there's 10,000 whales are killed a year by the ships. 10,000
really?
a
Wow.
year. And that's the ones that we know about. So just think about the ones that we don't know about. And if you're going to Google it, don't Google it before bed, because you will be sad,
Oh
because you
God,
will see the
really?
dead
Oh
whales on the
geez.
front of the big ships. So it
Well,
it
you're
is
gonna have to
documented.
share that link with us as well so that people can help understand
Yeah,
what's going on with that. I don't know
thank
what
you.
the story
Thank
is in
you.
Australia. I have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely want to. Actually, I know that you have orcas there. And did you know that your
Yeah.
orcas have changed their eating habits? They will actually go down and they will pick up the stingrays out of the sand and eat them, because there's no
Yeah.
more krill left down there.
Oh geez.
And or
That does not
seals or
sound
whatever
good.
it is, the orcas that, I'm sorry, it wasn't krill, sorry, I'm getting it right. There's no more seals for them to eat that they were eating. There's two different types of orcas. So there's the meat eating ones, those are those, and then there's the resident ones that
The
eat fish.
vegans, the vegan
Yeah,
orcas?
no, they
No.
eat fish. So the residents eat fish, and then the transients eat meat. So they'll eat the seals and other
Wow, I
things.
had no
And
idea. I thought they
yeah.
were all just like watch your fingers. Yeah. Just careful how you swim. I mean,
Yeah,
you think of it, they
no.
always say the orca killer whales. They don't say anything else. The orca gentle healing whales, you know.
No, yeah, the residents whales. And did you know that is a matriarch as well? It's the mother. That's a mother that is
Ah,
the head, and everybody. It's a
ah,
matriarch,
okay.
matriarchy. So for the women are in charge.
That sounds like a good plan. I think we need to do more of that. Get more of that going
Well,
on.
doesn't it? Everybody that says that, everybody says that if the women were in charge, we'd have more peace, right?
Oh,
We
for
would
sure.
have. There's so many
Yeah,
things, right?
it is well documented. It's in throughout society. Yeah. Anyway, what I really want to jump into now is, so you've been an intuitive, it sounds like, most of your life, and how do you use that in your business practice, in your
Mm.
coaching?
Yes. Well, I actually help other people. So Steve Jobs says it's way better to be an intuitive leader than it is an intuitive business owner than it is to have massive skills. Like it literally, I mean, there's so many people. And if you think about it, like as a business owner, you have to pivot like in a
Yeah,
minute.
like
And
crazy. Yeah,
right? And especially in
yeah.
this changing world. But I've been working with Fortune 500 companies and other companies for a very long time. I mean, Motorola brought me in when they were having to shut the doors, and they were worried about the their employees. It was like over 300 employees because the morale was going down, and they were really worried about suicide. And so they brought me in my
Wow.
program to
Yeah.
help people understand that when one door shuts, there's 100 doors open for you. You just got to get clear and tap inside to yourself and tap into your wisdom. That is our innate wisdom. We all have it. And so I teach that and empower. So I don't want to teach anybody to fish. Like, pardon me, I don't want to give everybody the fish. like I could do intuitive healings all day long and intuitive readings all day long, but I want to teach everybody else to fish for themselves. So that's
Yeah.
why I do the program that I do, and so that they can do and be able to pivot in this changing world. And so that's my program, is how to tap in a total alignment so that you're
Fantastic.
physically,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
tell
it
us,
is
you've
physical,
got it. You
mental.
actually have a challenge coming up soon. Tell us
I
a little
do.
bit more about that.
I do. It's a 5-day free challenge starting on Monday, noon Pacific. And you have the link for that at tapprograms.com, and sign up totally for free. I am going to help people like for free. I'm going to give them a lot of my best stuff and take them through a process and be able to see what I do and how I take the pain. There's so many people right now dealing with paralysis analysis, and they're dealing with so many things because of the changing world, changing business, everything, and they don't know where to go. And so with my program, they're going to learn how to tap into their own innate wisdom to be able to deal with that and make the best choices for themselves.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Quick question. Is that recorded on, are there recordings of that? So could somebody replay it if they're not up at 5 a.m. in Australian time?
Actually, it is
Is it in a Facebook group, or
Live.
how are you recording
Yeah, it's
that?
a Facebook Live. They can sign up now, and the Facebook Live will get them into the group. And then, they won't be added until the day of, which is on Monday, which is only just a few days away, and Monday in North America.
Yeah.
And the 22nd, May 22nd. And then they will be let in. And then it will be 5 days of it. And right now it is not recorded for them to do a replay. However, there will probably be part of the, and I'm not sure on this, so my assistants are all in charge of whether or not we're going to, I guess if there's enough demand, we'll leave it up in the Facebook group. So join in, get your 5-day challenge. If you can't make it at that time, I'm sure that we can work something out that they can look at the replays in the group.
Yeah, and I'm happy to chat with you a little bit on how to monetize that 5-day challenge so that people can use it and be willing to take action swiftly. Because I'm assuming you're helping them tap into their own intuition so that they know for sure this is for them or it's not for them. Any other programs that you offer behind that.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
the first thing I do with my potential clients, is get them to tap in to see if, and I usually know ahead of time already. So, but let them tap in without any influence at all, so that they feel like they have a true full heart yes and a full body yes
yeah,
to
exactly.
working with me. And I mean, really part of working with me too is coming here to Hawaii and really being infused with this incredible mana, which means energy in Hawaiian, but with the energy here, which is so powerful, transformative, and
So
watching.
I would highly encourage everyone to sign up for the free challenge because Callie is just awesome. And I think you can hear her true authenticity and the integrity of what she's talking about. I haven't heard anyone who's experienced this for themselves other than in some dream. So I'm really intrigued as well. And I'd love to hear more about it too. But I do want to say you haven't changed one iota in the 10 years since I've seen you. And I know a whole ton of stuff has happened to you. You look perfect. Your hair is perfect. I'm looking at myself and going, oh my God, what do I do now? Is this true? Are you real? Are you for real? What's going on?
I'm for reals. However, I, just like everyone else, have to deal with ups and downs and tumbles in life. I call it like the tumbler, but we're all diamonds. And as we tumble, we get to be buffed up and shine even brighter as long as we are living in principle and tuned in to the right frequencies. And so I've been teaching the frequencies for like ever. And they can see that on my YouTube channel, Callie Kares YouTube, and watch that. As you know, I was stalked and shot and paralyzed when I was 20. I've had, there's just so many things that have happened in my life. I've had bad business
I'm
partners.
sorry, you can't just leave it at that. You're going to have to elaborate slightly, because you can't just go, I was shot and stalked.
Well, it's on the website. You know what?
It's more. It's a little bit more. If you're willing, because that's a lot for people to handle. It's a lot.
Right. So it's on my website, CallieKares.com, and they can get the free chapter that has been featured, a best-selling book called Pebbles in the Pond, Transforming the World, One Person at a Time. And I was luckily featured with some of the top luminaries in our world, like Lisa Nichols, Barbara Marks Hubbard, bless her soul, she's now gone, but Neil Donald Walsh. I mean, like, these are like the top luminaries in our world, and, connect with Jack Cranfield. And so it talks about my overcoming paralysis, because I learned visualization when I was in high school playing basketball, how to see the ball in the basket before it even leaves your hands. So when I was lying there in the hospital and they told me that the bullet was embedded in my spine, in my L4, it had cut my cord, they weren't going to operate because there was no organ bleeding, and they were like all excited that they didn't have to open me up and that they were going to leave the bullet in. And, and I'm like, but I'm paralyzed. And they're like, yeah, but you're going to live. And I just, in that moment, said, I have so much to do in this world. I am committed to so much. At that time, I was actually in university with psychology and sociology, and I actually wanted to be a police officer at that time to take bad guys off. Totally bad guys.
I can see where that would come from. Yeah.
Right. So bad guys like my mother's husband, that I wanted to make sure that spousal abusers would get into jail, and all other abusers, sexual abusers, physical abusers, all of those. I wanted to make the world a better place. I didn't know that I was going to turn into my life was going to unfold the way that it has, but it is. And coming back to the story, was literally what happened was I set the only option. And this is what I teach my clients. When you set a goal that you cannot say, that's what I want, and that's what I hope to have happen, it literally is, you tune into that goal and you get rid of any fuzz, any frequency that is not of that goal. And that's the only option. That's literally, or better. It's like, I want this or better. And that's what I teach. And that's what my clients do. I mean, literally, I've helped them from become authors. And it's like, they didn't just write their first book. One author's written 10 books and has become a best-selling author like multiple times, and it's literally, so it's like that or something better.
Yeah.
So
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So I guess so the full story is there on my website, CallieKares.com. Just go there and download the chapter and you'll get all the details. And my next book that's coming out will even give more details of the follow-up afterwards, because everybody keeps asking me questions like, but what about this? But what about that? It's like, well, I only had this much room because I was squeezed between Lisa Nichols and Barbara Marks Hubbard. Yeah. I couldn't have a whole book.
Do your own full book.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Good for you. So I encourage everyone to click on the link that's going to be attached to this video and sign up for the challenge. You've only got a few days to sign up, and it's starting next week. So that sounds like an awesome way to get to know Callie, and really looking forward to hearing more and to doing some swimming with the orcas, the whales, and the dolphins in Hawaii. I can't wait. Anything I missed asking that we didn't get to that you would like to share with the group, Callie?
Thank you for asking me that. I feel that we all need to, right now, we need to remember that our world is changing exponentially right now. Like, we are birthing the new earth, and we need everybody to be mastery of leadership for their own lives, so that there's a ripple effect in their circle. So first, like their family, and then their community, and then rippling out and wider and wider and wider. And that is something that the whales actually do. Is the whales hold the vibration called the Schumann resonance of the earth through their bodies, and they connect the earth to make it one earth. So we are all one. So when
the whales are circling the earth, going up between the hemispheres and all around, you believe that's part of increasing the Schumann resonance and transforming and transmitting, I would say, the energy. Is that how you view it?
Yes, and connecting. So we're connected as one. And so doing our own work, even if somebody doesn't want to, like, just to deal with our own stuff, because we all got stuff. I know. I grew up with a lot of stuff. So you want to talk about stuff? I mean, like, literally that backpack that I was wearing for, like, was really stinky until I learned how to put down the backpack and clear and clean and raise my vibration. So, and life is always throwing us stuff all the time. So I know, and I've had to sidestep it, sometimes walk through it, so, fly over top of it.
Yeah.
So, and so I thank you for the wonderful compliment. I am not perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect, just like everybody else. I do remember, though, and this is the last thing that I really want everybody to just hold on to their heart and connect to their heart and remember who we are. We are more powerful than we could ever imagine. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And when we remember who we are, we can then make significant, dramatic changes to in a supernatural way, and have supernatural things happen and be aligned and tuned in with the frequency of miracles. And that is why that's my mission here on earth, to help people remember who they are.
That is awesome, Callie. And I honor you for all of the amazing work you've done, just by being a living example and an embodiment of what that truly feels like, to be able to live your true self and to be connected to your highest self, no matter what's going on around you. Because I know you've had some things happen in your life that might be for another time. Hopefully, maybe you'll come back again and you can share some of that. But
okay, absolutely. Sending my love to everyone, and warm aloha from my heart to yours.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Blessings.